and welcome to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. My name is Bobby. Joining me today is the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky, and we are finally playing TemTem. It just hit 1.0, and I finally got my BFF in here with me. Chase, how you feel about that?
Is your BFF a Scaravolt?
It certainly should be by the looks of it.
He's my BFF. Look at my fun little fire electric bug boy.
He's very good. And I'll just come out and say it right now, Chase. I think TemTem is very good. What do you know about it?
I know the TemTem. So this was a game that was in early access a couple years ago in 2020,
Yep.
but it just came to 1.0 here in 2022, September of 2022. It is developed by Crema, and
Yep.
it is it's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon game. So
It is. It's one of those It's like an MMO, completely co-op Pokemon game.
it's like what we asked for lots of times
Yes.
from Game Freak and never got.
Yep.
Yeah. This thing's on Switch. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I'm playing this on a Steam Deck.
Is it working okay for you on that?
I would say so. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
noticed any real problems. I mean, I can't tell if the loading stuff here is because of the Steam Deck or because of TemTem. I mean, it is an MMO, so there is just lots of loading generally. But I think it's pretty solid. It runs okay.
I've played it on my Steam Deck as well, but I'm playing on my PC. The loading stuff, certain things are the same on both, and like I've got a very high end PC. I think it's just like loading their server shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've played quite a bit of the first early access of this game, like about 50 hours of it, and I just stopped because I was obsessing and I wanted more content. And now that the game's here, I had like this weird, oh shit, like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I finally feel like I'm in a good spot. I just unlocked one of the final islands, but I came back here with you. I loaded up some lower level Tems, and we're gonna run around and progress your story a little bit. But I thought for the quick look, let's just show some battling, and then maybe after that, I'll go through some of the menus, and we can talk a bit about like call out things that you enjoy or that like, hey, I'm still not sure about this, because you are, out of any of us in the show, we all love Pokemon, but I would say that that's kind of your shit.
I think that's fair to say.
Aficionado.
Yeah.
And I've been a little anxious for you to check this game out, because like this is a really important game to me. And not that you have to like it, but I really think that you will like it. And I know that you are a stickler, when it comes to Pokemon, and more importantly, Pokemon clones.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly things that I mean, I don't think Game Freak is perfection. They definitely screw up as well, but there are things that I definitely want from these kinds of games, and a lot of the ones that you get from the indie studios are just people like, oh, I can make a Pokemon game. A lot of them really fall short. This one so far, and I'm not super into it. You came to my game here for the co-op. So for people who are wondering about spoiler stuff, I just got through the first dojo, which is like the gym equivalent. We're still on the first island, the first area, and we're gonna just run around here for a bit.
So let me call out a few things before we go through the battle here.
You got
what you're
20
looking at,
seconds to pick a move, so make it quick.
Okay, I will do that. Do you have either one of those Tems, by the way?
I have them both. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I will just start to rip them apart here. It's 2v2. Let's just call that out right away. Like that's the whole basis here. They do duos, and Chase has control. I have control. And we are going to be fighting through all of these things, which is great. And there are type matching, just like you would expect from a monster catching game, and especially a monster battling game, for that matter. And there's a co-op. I did not realize that.
I did not know that either. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool. So you have all the same thing here. You're going to have like 4 moves that you can go through. You're going to level up. The game, except for co-op here, does not have like a bonus or a shared experience. What it has is kind of a grind to it. What have you picked up on so far with the battling, Chase?
So, like you said, it's mostly 2v2 battles. Like you see here, we're fighting a single TemTem now, which means you're just ganging up on it. And sometimes you'll get single battles. I mean, you will always throw out 2 Tems, but sometimes you'll battle somebody who just has a single one. And honestly, the strategy there is pretty easy. But for the most part, you are battling 2v2, and that adds an extra bit of strategy to it. Pokemon had double battles in Gen 3, I believe, is when they added it, and a lot of people really liked that system. In fact, that's the way that competitive Pokemon playing has gone, where they mostly do 2v2 battles now, and it just adds an extra layer of strategic thought into how you're bringing in your different monsters and what attacks you're doing. And I think this game has done some things in the battling that makes it even more interesting. There are moves that get powered up when they are used in conjunction with a TemTem of a different type. Like you have a move I think you used called energy manipulation. And what's the type that you need with that? Is it like wind or something?
Plus, it looks like nature. Sorry, if used in combination with a nature ally, energy manipulation does an additional damage, and it has a down exhaust on the enemy for 2 turns, which is great.
Yeah. So all I would need to do is switch into a nature type Tem, and your attacks just get better, or your one attack gets better. There are also moves that take extra turns. So like in Pokemon you have like Solar Beam, where you have to take in energy on turn 1 and then you attack on turn 2. This doesn't have that I've seen, but what it does have is, hey, you can't use this move until turn 2, or you can't use this move until turn 4. And so I'm gonna use one now. It's called Charge. I had to wait a turn before I could use this thing, and they're not always extra powerful moves, but sometimes they just have some kind of effect on them that makes it a little broken if you could just use this right away. So it's nice that they have a way to kind of balance that out, but also give you good moves early. There's one called Hold Back that takes 4 turns before it's activated. But it is just an incredibly powerful move, and then you have to wait another 4 turns before you can use it again. And I think that stuff, just the way you balance strategy on that, is kind of cool.
And those are not TemTem that you're hearing. Those are my dogs. They got excited about something. But I agree with everything you just said. The other thing that you were probably seeing as we were playing that, they take the like type advantage, and like this is effective or that's not effective, but they do it in fourths. So like, hey, that attack does 4 times the damage, or it only does a quarter of the damage. And I think that's pretty interesting, that there's some extra additional layers into what you would expect from like a traditional battle. The other piece here is that, oh shit, I got caught up in RNG.
That's
here.
Okay.
They bring in some of the MMO stuff. Like obviously, like Chase and I are playing together. For the most part, you just see people in those instances, but you'll have mounts. Later on in the game, you get to buy a house, and then you can start to do decor and things like that, and have a little space to keep shit, which is nice. We talked about this on our podcast the other night, but I think somebody had asked, it was either you or Johnny, like, is this more mature than Pokemon, or is it made for people who grew up playing Pokemon versus like introducing people to monster catching? And I still feel it's a bit more mature than what Pokemon is, and I think it's going for maybe the people who grew up playing Pokemon versus the people who are just learning about it. But it could be both.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely more difficult than just a normal Game Freak made Pokemon game. You have the climbing gear, so I guess you can just mow through that area. I do not, so I have to go the long way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would say it's more mature in terms of, hey, this is a little challenging. I mean, you also have people who say "damn it," so I guess it's more mature than a Pokemon game. But I think there's a depth of strategy here in terms of the gameplay that I would say, this should not be your first monster catching game. There are other ones that would suit you much better if you were starting out. But if you are a person like me or Bobby who has played a lot of these Pokemon games before, and you're just looking for something that's a little different and has a little bit more challenge to it naturally, this is probably a great way to go. Bobby, I fought the first dojo person, so I can also get on the surfboard with you and just fly around. I'm also going to switch to an electric Tem. Because
this is I need to. There we go.
Okay, I switched just in time.
Nice. Do you have both of these?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of my favorite attacks here. It's called Chain Lightning, where it hits.
It's very good.
It hits multiple Tems, and then it comes back and either hits you or hits hits your ally. But I can mitigate that by having Tems that take less damage from electric attacks, or even some that don't take any damage from electric attacks. And that is pretty cool. So we're supposed to go for what we're doing right now. We have to go find somebody in the southeast part of the map.
And this is a big. I have the map pulled up here right now while you're looking at yours.
It's a big area. And this is just the first area here.
And
I would say
there's
it's pretty,
parts that I haven't even seen. Like
once you get this surfboard, this whole area here kind of becomes your oyster, and there's just a ton to look at here. And I think the game really starts to open up after this first dojo fight.
So they also do kind of a slow roll on getting things out there for you. Like you have certain things in your party, like on your person, to like traverse with, that you'll lose and get back throughout the game. There's airships. I'm at a point pretty far into the game that I'm about to unlock fast travel, which is going to be a game changer for me, because there's still a lot of back and forth stuff you have to do. And I will say, like, that's probably for me, like, one of the harder things, because it is such a big game, that traversing it is a little arduous at the beginning, because you are going back and forth a lot. And it takes a bit of time.
One trick that I've found that is weirdly similar to a trick that you can do in Pokemon as well is if you have a move called Teleport in Pokemon, it'll take you to the last Pokemon Center you were in.
Yep.
This game has an item called Smoke Bombs, which work similar to like an escape rope in Pokemon, where it gets you out of a dungeon.
Yep.
But the Smoke Bomb just works more like Teleport, where it just takes you to the last Temporium or Pokemon Center that you visited. And you can use that as, hey, as long as I don't heal up, I can go straight back to the last Temporium that I use. So I've sometimes used that as, hey, I'm gonna just heal up here, so I know that I can always come back here really quickly.
Yep, for sure.
Wait, it says leave the co-op party, waiting for...
No, don't do that. I'm just moving.
Okay, I see. All
yeah,
good.
I was in a menu.
No problem.
By the way, the little friend on the left there, Mishi, that is an S tier Tem right there. That thing is powerful.
Yeah? Okay. I caught one a little while ago, but I haven't used it yet.
So they have something in this game similar to shinies that they call Lumas. And I also was able to, miraculously, I have a Luma Umishi, which is one of my favorite Tems.
Nice.
And the one that you have, that you're playing with Genki, that was my like main driver for a very long time of the game. Like that was the meta tem when this game first came into early access.
And I think it's the meta tem for just the early game. It is really good to have this electric and wind type. It resists a lot of stuff. It gets super effective damage on a lot of stuff. It's just super useful compared to a lot of these other ones.
How do you? So we talk about this a lot when games. Pokemon is more than just a monster catching game. It was a very influential game for a lot of us, but we also like grew up watching the anime, collecting the toys, playing the games, artwork. There's something more to just. There's a relationship there with those Pokemon and the style and the art. We've talked about these other games that are clones, always being like, nothing is as cool as the Pokemon. That's one of the things that is just a bummer. And how are you liking the art choices and some of the designs that they've gone for here?
I think there's some cool ones. It's hard to, like you said, it's hard to beat Pokemon. I think some of these are better than others. But for the most part, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. There is maybe a little less in terms of variety in like monsters that evolve.
Right.
There's a lot of them that I found that evolve once, and there's a lot of them that just don't evolve at all. Very few that I've found have 3-stage evolutions, and that just feels, I don't know, it feels a little weird. It kind of makes the progression feel a little less, because in Pokemon it feels like, oh yeah, I'm growing with these guys, and there's always another level to chase. And some of these guys, I'm like, why? Man, I'm at like 20, 25, 30 levels with these guys. Why haven't they evolved yet? And then I look it up and go, oh, this guy doesn't evolve like ever. what the fuck? That's
well. You had asked me a question too before about like they've made some choices on how the evolutions work, and it's very different, I think, than what we're used to.
Yeah, so in like Pokemon, like, oh, my starter, it evolves at level 16, and then it evolves again at level 36, and that's just something they generally do most of the time. But then in this game, it's how much they level up with you. So you can kind of screw yourself, I would say, a little bit by getting a high level TemTem that is still a basic one. And because then you just have to level it up a bunch of times. Like I think this Genki that I have needs to be leveled up 27 times before it evolves. That doesn't mean it evolves at level 27. That means whatever level I got it at, and I do not remember what level I got it at, I have to get 27 levels on top of that before it evolves to the next stage. And it's fine. It's just, it's harder to look that information up online, or to determine, okay, when is this thing actually going to evolve? I don't really know. So you just kind of keep grinding and hope for the best. And you just, it's like, it's fine. It's not really a big deal.
This is cool too, by the way.
Okay, I think I found the person.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I can watch you make decisions, because a lot of the conversations in this game give you some choices on how you respond, and I can see you don't there you go. So Chase is able to go in and basically drive the conversation, which is awesome, because like I've experienced this and I didn't want to have to like go through and do it for him, but that's neat. The co-op seemingly is working very well, which you would hope for an MMO. Chase, after we get this dialogue here, I might run through a few of the menus really quick just to talk through some of those things.
Sounds great.
And then we've shown off a few battles. Oh, there's your airship ticket. Awesome.
Yeah. But by the way, I think this might be the weakest part of the game. I just don't care about the writing. I don't think it's bad. It's just... I don't know. There's something about it where it's so easy to button through, and I just kind of don't care.
Sure.
And I've just been buttoning through, and I button through a lot of Pokemon dialogue as well. But there's just something about this stuff that's like, just get the hell out of here. I just want to go back to fighting some Tems. All right, why don't you go look through some menus? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've got the menu pulled up here. It's broken down based off of like your squad, you as a tamer, map, quests, notifications. They have interact stuff. You can join a club, which I have not done. So I have not done anything for that grayed out trophy. There's a very big PvP scene with this game. They also have events. They've got a battle pass that you can purchase. They have a store that will have like emotes and then cosmetic shit that you can get for your house. I have not seen anything that is like a pay to win. I think it's all purely just cosmetic stuff that you can do to stand out in the game a little bit. As we pulled out here, they've got a pretty good waypoint on the map. They'll show you like clothing shops, item shops, where you can go in the Temporium, where that's like the Poke Center, so you can buy shit, swap out, heal, all that fun stuff. In your squad, you can get an overview of their stamina, which we haven't talked about. Also, you have your health, but then your moves have a cost, and if you deplete that cost, it will take away from your health. So you can kill your Tem by executing a move. So you got to be strategic with that as well. But
yeah, there aren't power points like Pokemon does. You can use whatever move, but you just need to have the stamina for it. Or if you like Bobby said, if you go over, you take some recoil damage, and then you're exhausted the next turn. So you can kind of bet big, but then you have to either switch that thing out or just take some attacks next turn. You can also just wait during a battle to regain some of that stamina. And not take a move either. So again, there's a lot of strategic choices when it comes to the battling, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
there's a part of me, and I'm gonna say this a lot, and I feel bad about it because I think they've made a really good game here. But when I play this, I feel like I just want to go back and play some Pokemon, or it makes me excited to go and play some Pokemon. Even though I think this is a really solid one of these, probably more solid than any of the other ones that I've played.
Yeah, I personally feel that there are some things that they could take back. Like I think Game Freak could borrow some of these ideas here. The one thing I'll call out here, they have a kudo system, which is neat, and this is going to, just by like doing adventures, you're going to be able to go through and collect shit that are these in-game currency that you can use in that shop. So make sure you're going through there. I can't remember the name of what these were in Destiny that you would. Like they're like feats almost that you could complete.
Triumphs
and you get,
is the Destiny thing.
Yeah. That's basically the triumph system. Mm-hmm. Chase, if we end up by a Temporium, I want to pop and show that off as well.
Okay. Can I smoke bomb back to back to the
that
first
should do
place?
it for both of us.
All right.
Yep, there we go. So this is what he was talking about earlier, and boom, we're right back into the last Emporium that we were at. Over here on the left, these are just your healing stations. It's very fast. You don't have any dialogue. You just walk up to and press it. I really like that. Mm-hmm. And then over here, this is going to be your storage boxes. And you can sort these out however you want to by name. You can also go through and mark Tem. So if you wanted like, hey, I'm only looking for like my crew here. You can also have different squads. So like from a competitive standpoint, I can have my standard squad. I can have 3 other like loaded out squads that I would use for PvP stuff. I can sort by type, and then also secondary type. There's advanced filters, gender. I can also do leveling. It's a very nice system. Very easy to navigate and move things around.
I also like that it marks every new Tem that you put in that gets thrown in there. It just has a little exclamation mark on it. Go like, hey, this is a new one. You put this in here recently. So if it's like, oh, where's the one that I need to put in my party? That's really easy to navigate. That's a pretty cool feature.
Also, left-hand corner of my screen, you see local, global, trade, and then you see now chase. I can have, just if I did not have a mic, you can do chat only, which is helpful if you're playing with somebody. Also, this is the vendor you can buy and sell. And smoke bombs is what Chase is talking about. Scent is going to be a repel. A Tem card is the equivalent of a Pokeball. So they've got like Tem card plus, Tem card plus plus, versus like ultra great, all that stuff. Balm is your standard medication. Ether is going to be for restoring your stamina. Tonic is going to be something that restores HP as well. You have revives. All that stuff's here, like what you would expect. Different name, same principle. So if you've played Pokemon, there's going to be a lot of things here that you will absolutely recall and be aware of.
There is one real interesting one though, and that's the Tem Essence file. And hey, they put your Dark Souls in your Pokemon. This is an Estus flask that will just completely heal all of your TemTem, whether they're fainted or just barely hanging on, or even at full health. This gives you one party-wide full heal, and that just lets you. It's really nice for the dungeons in this game. That hey, I'm just trying to get through this place. I've been grinding it out. Actually, it's really good for grinding, where you just want to go out and grind. And okay, my guys are a little low level. In a Pokemon game, it's like, okay, time to fly back to the Pokemon Center. But here you can say, you know what? I'll just use my Tem Essence file and I'll heal everybody back up, and then I can keep going before you need another heal. So far, I've only gotten one charge of that. I don't know if you get multiple charges of it eventually, but it seems pretty useful.
Yeah, it's a good thing for sure.
And it fills back up when you heal at a Temporium.
So we've gone over some battles. This is some stuff I'll show off too. So your Tamer card, on here it'll show you like what you've captured. I have one Luma, it shows off there. I don't have any of the PvP stuff, but you can customize and dye all kinds of stuff from hair to clothing. You have a backpack you can put on. Recently, right now actually, if you are watching this, I think it'll still be going on by the time we post this, but to celebrate the 1.0 launch, they're doing Twitch drops. So there's a banner and a backpack if you watch 4 hours of a streamer. I just put it on the background and had that go, and then you just collect the drops there. So I've got the backpack I'm wearing right now has a fun little TemTem charm on it, and I dyed it because it was black and purple like the Twitch streams are, but that's a backpack you get from watching Twitch channels. Do you want to go do a little bit more battling, or what would you like to do?
I think we're good. I think we've shown off what this game has to offer so far. I think it's pretty cool. I'm about I'd say, I don't know, 3-4 hours into it. And I've only gotten that first dojo finish, so it seems like there's a good amount of content. I'm about to move on to whatever the second area is, and I'm sure there will be a lot of new Tems and a lot of new things to do there. I think it's solid. They've found a smart way to incorporate the kind of HM system that Pokemon does, in the way that they have a surfboard or climbing gear, which I don't have quite yet, that blocks off the rest of the world to you in a similar way that Pokemon does. But really, I think more than anything, the selling point here is the strategy in combat. That, hey, we made a game that is centered around double battles, that has a lot of really interesting interactions that you can only get out of double battles. And we're going to commit to that. And I think they've done a good job with that. The rest of it, I feel like, is pretty Pokemon-like, in some for good and for ill. And I think it's a pretty solid game. But if you're looking for something that is definitely more difficult, or you're looking for a more competitive style of these monster collecting, monster battling games, I think this one is probably the best you're going to find in terms of that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think there's a lot of great things about it. I'm having a blast with it. It feels like, this is a weird thing to say, but for me, it feels like the Pokemon game that in my 30s I would appreciate, And I still love Pokemon. You called it out earlier. Like, I've played a handful of these Pokemon knockoffs or clones. Mm-hmm. And this is probably my favorite one I've played.
Yeah.
Outside of Pokemon. And if you like what we've had to talk about, or if you want to see more of this as we progress through it, I think Chase and I are actually going to spend some time on our live streams playing this together on Mondays. So we stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Twitch, twitch.tv/casual hour. Mondays and Fridays is when you can find gameplay. Wednesday night, we do a live recording of our podcast, which is called The Casual Hour. And that is where we're joined by our other co-host, Johnny. We talk about the games we've been playing. We do monthly previews, deep dives, all kinds of fun stuff. We post that podcast every Friday morning, wherever you listen to your podcast. So get in where you fit in. And we bring all of our videos on demand from Twitch right here to YouTube. So if you can't catch a live stream, or if you want to get more of these quick looks, we put all that stuff up all week long. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are quick looks. We bring our videos on demand over the next day. Like, subscribe, follow where you can to stay in the know with everything happening at the Casual Hour. This has been TemTem 1.0. We're having a great time with it. Chase, thanks for hanging out, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. We'll play more of this soon.
Yeah, thank you.